that would afford him a befitting epitaph. Probably his life has been a cocktail. It was a short life. We could not master exactly where his journey would end. But like I said, we don't choose when we bow out. He never chose this. I followed closely on behalf of Parliament. Then as leader of the opposition when he was arrested, I followed him and his brother, the Honorable Ssegirinya, through the challenges in prison, falling sick. Ssegirinya, I beg your pardon, Right Honorable Speaker. And the troubles went through to secure clearance of the medical board for his treatment, away from treatment in prison and from within the country. I want to thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for the effort. At one stage, the Right Honorable Speaker had to do a money hunt for members of the medical board to convene and clear the treatment of Honorable Ssegirinya. It was tough. It was tough, and we were losing time. We were losing time, and he had to be driven to the tarmac for emergency treatment. Suddenly, his illness and eventual demise exposed our systems. The state system as being weak and porous, incapable of a coherent investigation to give a decent man justice, selective, incapable of a decent prosecution. The entire exercise in which he was being prosecuted tainted with a lot of inconsistency, and you could feel a sense of revenge and retribution, this whole thing. And for me, that should not be part of our life. I'm glad the Honourable Minister for the Youth has made a commitment. I want to see you follow through that commitment. That, Madam Speaker, I beg your pardon that I make these statements, that the hunting and hounding of the opposition must cease. The Honourable Ssegirinya had so many friends, and I want to thank his friends who stood with him in prison and hospital. Even when he left prison, and some friends were questioning how he was released, yet they knew he was very sick. That for me was inhuman. Secondly, to thank the medical team at Nsambya Hospital, Dr. Sechitoliko and team, Luaga Hospital, Sister Dr. Grace Nanyondo and the team. They did a great job. And of course, the team at Aga Khan Hospital. I visited Ssegirinya at Aga Khan, and I thought we had lost him. But the mother stayed strong, and the young man called Kasaga, who was taking care of him very closely. I found them desperate. And the doctor at Aga Khan asked me, but you can't manage this in Uganda? And I felt a sense of really shame on my part. Right on the speaker, as I conclude, he's left us. And his departure has exposed the pettiness, the callousness, the emptiness, the insensitivity of politics and politicians, Right Honourable Speaker. And we need to learn from both sides of the house, Right Honourable Speaker. We need to appreciate that our sense of humanness should never disappear regardless of the disagreements that we find ourselves into. What became of our sense of humanity? What became of our Africanness? That with the suffering and the sick should never be exploited, should never be used for politicking, should never be used for, to milk politics and political space. Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, while this man was suffering, I'm concluding, we're jostling for his position in Kawempe. What happened to us as politicians? As I was ill in hospital, and I made sure all those who are supposed to know get to know. They never visited. They were plotting for his position in Kawempe. This is very callous of politicians. It must stop. We don't choose when we go. Our sense of sensitivity should never get away because one of us is suffering. We must feel for each other. And this I'm saying to both sides of the house. Right Honourable Speaker. To the Honourable Ssegirinya, you fought your battle. You did your bit humbly, with humility, with little in terms of exposition, in terms of capacity. We shall escort you not as a villain, but as a victor in these very small spaces in which we struggle to make a difference. Sleep well, my brother.
Thank you, Honorable Hassan. Thank you.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.